honor, right? This is probably the most important thing that happens in my recovery today is when someone else asks me to give them a chip, because that's something different. And it's just, you can't be grateful enough for that. Really, you can't. I've been thinking for the last few days, it's just hard to narrow down Deb in a couple of minutes. You know, I see Deb through my employment, and I see Deb in the recovery community, and every single time that I say, "How are you doing, Deb?" she says, I'm surrounded by alcoholics and addicts. I couldn't be doing any better. I'm with my people. She never fails to say that. And two things kept coming to my mind when I was thinking about Deb that I look up to Deb for. And one of those is the connection and the compassion that Deb has for all living things. Not just humans, everything else that's living. I don't know if I've really witnessed it to the degree that you live by that and show the example of how we're all connected in some way spiritually. And I'm really grateful that you provide that example, because a lot of times I look at things that you do, and it makes me take a minute, and it makes me think about what you said, and it helps me spiritually all the time. I hope you know that. And then, you know, the 9th step, I think it's the 9th step, I'll butcher it, but it says, remember that we agreed at the beginning to go to any lengths to overcome alcoholism. And, you know, we all have some stuff where we call it wreckage of the past when we get sober. And, you know, nobody gets here because life is going grand. But I watched Deb in early recovery take that statement that we agreed to go to any lengths to get sober. And I look up to the path that you had to walk, and the willingness and the not-step work and the things that you had to face in early recovery. Because to be honest with you, I had some stuff, I had some wreckage of the past, but if I'd have walked your path, I might have found a good excuse to go get loaded. And I watched you walk through it like a person in recovery with your head held high. And I'll forever look up to you for the willingness that you and the steps you had to take. You know, I saw you day one, and to see you today carry the message that you do is a blessing of my recovery. And to be able to see that transformation and the compassion that you have for other people starting this journey, it's hard to express my gratitude to be able to witness that. So I love you, and happy 5 years. Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Deb, and I'm a person in recovery. Hey Deb! I don't cry, so that's not what you're seeing here. First, I have to make an amends to Murray. Early on, when I was first at the little place where I went to start my journey, Murray used to walk across the campus every day, and he'd say, "It's a great day to be sober." That used to piss me off. How can you say that? But you know, I can say it. Now I'm the person doing that. Now I'm the person doing that. And that's so cool. I look out here and I know most of you people, beautiful people out there. How did I get here? Well, sometimes a house has to fall on your head, and a couple of houses had to fall on my head for me to get here. I had some encouragement from some federal agents. I had some encouragement from my supervisor who told me I was no longer needed at my place of employment. But the house that really fell on my head was the day I totaled my car after the feds had come to visit and I'd lost my job. Totaled my car, and I actually walked out of that wreckage alive, refusing to go to the hospital because I knew I had dope in my system and I didn't want the feds to know that. Sitting on the street corner, I lost all my pride. Finally lost my pride, and I called my brother who lived up here in Lubbock. I said, I need help. And he found several places for me to call. I ended up at the one here in Lubbock, just north of town. A lot of you know that place. And that was the best decision I ever made in my life, was to just give up, to just surrender, to just say, I cannot do this anymore. Even after that, I changed my mind a couple of times after I got there. You know how we do. It was a struggle, and I got the opportunity early on in my journey at the ranch to go spend a couple more weeks in jail. I was arrested while I was out there. Feds came and got me. So they'll find you wherever you are if they want you. But fortunately, I had about 7 days clean under my belt, so jail time wasn't too bad. I wrote my first step while I was sitting there, so I used the time wisely. I learned how to wait. I learned the power of the Serenity Prayer. I said that prayer over and over and over again while I was in jail. Came back to the ranch and did my 28 days. I caught fire early on. I was one of the lucky ones, I guess. Had some profound spiritual experiences early on. I'm not going to go into details about that, but Murray mentioned the path I walked, and I'm sharing it because I know a lot of you out there have walked similar paths and may be facing some similar things in your near future. But 7 months into my recovery, I went down to